All right, they just released the Trickster Rogue Hero Talents for the War Within. So this one's going to be Outlaw Sub Rogue, and I've read this already, and it does not look very good to me personally. So now they're using this Unseen Blade mechanic, and it's basically just Feint now grants 2 combo points and quickly slashes with a Unseen Blade. So it's dealing damage to nearby enemies. So it's probably going to break CC. And that's weird in a sub-rogue talent tree. So AoE attack for your defensive feint. It adds 2 combo points. Targets struck are phased for 5 seconds. And there's mechanics around the phased for 5 seconds thing. So you have to have another thing to stack. Phased enemies take 5% more damage from you and cannot parry your attacks. All right, so we're going to have mechanics around Unseen Blade and the phase mechanic. I'm going to go down the right side. So for Outlaw, Unseen Blade and Killing Spree grant 3% mastery for 5 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. Unseen Blade and Secret Technique grant 3% mastery for 5 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. You're going to want to get as many Unseen Blades during your go as you can. And it's going to be doing AoE the whole time. So that's great. These are the node selections. So you can select either one of these. Size and Dice grants 10% additional attack speed and gives your auto attacks a chance to trigger Unseen Blade. So if it's triggering Unseen Blade, it deals damage to nearby enemies. Taking area damage while feint is active or dodging while evasion is active triggers Unseen Blade. This effect may only occur once every 5 seconds. All right, so there's going to be a few different ways to trigger it during your go so you can get mastery. So we're going to have another weak word to track for that. Increase the duration of Flawless Form by 2 seconds. So for this, it would be 7 seconds every time it stacks, and it will overlap. We're going to just go straight down to the very last one, and then we'll go over the other 2. So for the last Coup de Grace, after 4 strikes with Unseen Blade, your next dispatch will be performed as a Coup de Grace, dealing 40% increased damage. The primary target is phased, gain 5 stacks of Flawless Form. If you have Unseen Blade triggered, so if your target is phased, so you have to track your target and yourself. I gain 5 stacks of Flawless Form after 4 strikes with the Unseen Blade. And then we'll have to track this and be like, okay, my big dam is going to be an Eviscerate at 40% increased damage. So we're going to have to make the rotation around that. I think it's really bad to use feint and AoE and then add more modifiers. I don't think we should be adding more modifiers for damage. It seems redundant. There's already so many different kinds of modifiers. Curious to see what they're going to do with this, because I've seen on the forums that a lot of rogues are very unhappy with this. I feel like feint should be a defensive and not an offensive ability that's caked into your rotation. It doesn't seem very good to me. All right, so for the middle row, I'm going to go down here. So you choose one of these. You take 5% reduced damage from phased targets. Feint reduces damage taken by an additional 10%. Outlaw, Killing Spree causes targets to be phased for 5 seconds. Secret Tech causes targets to be phased for 5 seconds. Every time you press Secret Tech, you get 5% more damage. So maybe that last Eviscerate is going to hit for 45% more. Distract now creates a cloud of smoke for 10 seconds, and its cooldown is increased by 90 seconds. Attacks from within the cloud afflict targets with phase for 5 seconds. Okay, so you can throw down a smoke screen for 10 seconds to get 5% more damage. Finishing moves have 10% increased chance to critically strike phase targets. I'd probably just take that. This seems like it would be good for like PvE if you want to do AoE. I'd probably just take the 10% crit chance. For the left side, it's Surprising Strikes. Attacks that generate combo points deal 25% increased critical strike damage to phase targets. Tricks of the Trade threat redirect duration is increased to 1 hour. Okay, that's definitely PvE. unless there's like some kind of PvP interaction that might be good. Blind and Shroud of Concealment have 10% reduced cooldown, and Pickpocket and Sap range increased by 10 yards. That's pretty good. Killing Spree deals 10% more damage and has 10% reduced cooldown. And for sub, Secret Text deals 10% more dam and has 10% reduced cooldown. So at the end of the day, I think that this is probably not good because there's more modifiers that you have to pay attention to. I don't want to have to use Feint to do an AoE attack just to phase them to get more damage modifiers. It doesn't look very good to me personally, but that being said, I would like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you think that this is fine or maybe some different things that they could do to change this. I'm interested to see what you guys say about that.